Hello everyone, welcome to QAWithSJ channel. Today we'll discuss testing introduction like what is a testing, why testing is required, who does testing. So what will happen if the testing not performed, right? So basically what is a testing? Testing is a process of uh, evaluating a system to identify whether it meets the requirement or not. It could be a software testing, it could be any other testing. Let's suppose there is a car is built, right? So before it before it enters into the market, the lot of test is being conducted by the company, right? Not only that, even if in pharmaceutical industry, before releasing it any of the product to the market, it could be a tablet or it could be a syrup or anything, right? There are a lot of clinical trials happens. That's what testing means. Here also in the software testing, what we'll test? We'll test the software whether it behaves or whether it is the functionality is working as expected or not based on the requirements or not. Okay, so then why testing is required? Who does testing, right? So why testing is required? Let's suppose uh, if you don't test, then the cost of the particular product will be more once it is released to the product. So anything before releasing to the product market, we have to make sure uh, the application is working as expected. Let's talk an example. Let's suppose there is a phone pay application or a banking transactions. You are sending an amount of 10,000 rupees from person A to person B, right? So from person A to person B, when you send an amount, then what will happen? The amount will be debited from your end and credited will be happen to the other side person. Let's suppose there is an error in the code in the backend. By mistake, there was zero appended. Then let's suppose you have 10 lakhs in your account. Then what will happen? When you send 10,000 by mistake in the code, a zero will be added and it's sent to the other person. Then it will be 1 lakh, right? Let's suppose the other person number you have entered correct, but by mistake it is going to some other person. Then just imagine, right? Not only in this case, you can take any example. Let's take an example of e-commerce. So in e-commerce, you search for a product, you have added to a cart, you did a payment, but the product is not in the order list. The amount is debited. Just imagine how the frustration is, will get it from the customers and the end users, right? So they simply switch to some other application. Let's forget about payment. Let's suppose when you load your page, when you click on a product, it's giving 404, 404 error. like like the product you are searching for is not found, something like that, or the page is crashed. Then imagine customers will obviously switch to some other competitor. Then a lot of loss in your business. So that's where testing is important in any of the sector. It could be a bank sector, it could be a financial sector, it could be a pharmaceutical sector, or any manufacturing industry, or any human related, HCM related applications. So any applications, testing is required. There are a lot of opportunities when for the testers, so that you can learn manual testing concept from the first, and then you can start learning automation. Okay, so we'll discuss why automation is required when we can do a testing manually. So those things also we'll discuss in later videos. Then who does a testing basically? So testing can be done by any of the person who develop the testing, like a developer mostly develop the application, right? So developer will do the initial round of testing, and then uh, we'll give it to the QA engineers. QA engineers also will do, and the business users. So what does the business users means here? Let's suppose you're working for a client. Okay, your end client is something. Let's take an example, some ABC Bank. Now you are the company where you are in your company you have developers and a team of developer QA and everyone. Then you are developing a particular application to that ABC Bank. Now your developers developed it and your QA engineers developed it and you certified it, but but at the same time, their business users also will test their application, how it is behaving, whether it is working as expected, whether requirements met or not. So that's where business user comes into picture. Okay, then end users also test. So what is end user? So if you remember, few of the application of day-to-day life will release it to few of the customers, not for everyone. Let's take an example of WhatsApp. For few applications, whatever the latest change, it will automatically inject into your mobile and automatically gets updated for few users. If there is any issues or bugs the users identified, they will post it and they will say uh, they will add some comments and in the reviews, right? So again they will take that into consideration and they will try to fix it. So sometimes end users also do that. So there are a lot of concepts uh, in testing. We learn that as well, like what is alpha testing, what is a beta testing. So we call it here it as beta testing. When the end user tests an application, that is called beta testing. When the business user internal users test, that is called alpha testing. Okay, so we'll learn those concepts, but for this video this is required. What is the testing we have covered, and why testing is required we have covered. Who does testing is also we have covered. Okay, uh, that's it for today's video. Signing off. Bye bye. Thank you.